Alright, just going to do a video on my new finished computer build. This is the Cooler Master Storm Trooper, not the Storm Trooper, I don't think it really matters though. Cooler Master V8 CPU cooler. It's got, I believe, Corsair XMS3 1333 MHz RAM, and those are overclocked to 2000 MHz. Got a Corsair HX750 modular power supply, well, semi-modular. That graphics card right there is a GTX 670 from MSI. It's the Power Edition, but I have obviously the Arctic Accelero Xtreme 3 cooler on it. Generic DVD drive, I don't think it really matters. And it's got a top 200mm fan, rear 140. The hard drives have their own dedicated 120. It's got a, see if I can sneak that in there, 120 for the main intake, and then a Noctua fan on the bottom, 140mm, pulling air in. And then, if you can't see that, lift that up. Side panel has two 120mm fans. I just got a little crappy Wi-Fi card, even though I don't use it. It's just for when I go somewhere and my friend doesn't have Ethernet. All of the fans are actually off. I have it set in speed fans, so when the system, pretty much any part of the system is below 30 degrees Celsius, 35 degrees Celsius, all the fans will just shut off completely. I'll just shut up for a second and place my phone inside of the computer so you can hear it. Basically, the only thing you can hear in this system whenever it's running idling, this is the hard drives. Got a 1TB main OS drive, and then I have two 500GB hard drives in RAID for video editing and gameplay videos and whatnot. And the GPU fans turned completely off. When it hits 35 degrees Celsius, they turn on, so it spins up and then it cools down. With a heatsink that big, it doesn't really matter though. When it spins up to like 15% speed and then it turns off to 0. No, actually, yeah. I hooked up the LEDs in the main system onto the fan controller, and I didn't realize that I guess it does like a voltage PWM type thing. It's really annoying, but when I turn down the speed with the fan controller, it starts blinking like crazy. I guess you can have like a strobe party with your computer or something like that. So, it's blinking. The only time it stops is when it's at full blast, which is fine. It's not very bright when the side panel's on. Oh, and I got rid of the stupid... If anyone else has the CM Stormtrooper, the Striker, pressing these buttons makes it like a microwave beep. I desoldered the buzzer on the board, so it doesn't beep anymore. Well, that's my build. Power supply is pretty much off all the time, which is nice. Oh, sorry, it's not off. The fan's off. Let's see if you can get to that. Let's see if I can pull that up. Yeah. Idling, pulling about 60 watts. Which isn't bad. My last power supply was a Diablo Tech, and I was pulling around 80 watts. Which was horrible for idle. Good power supply, it's just very, very inefficient. Kind of wish a Noctua fan could have been a Corsair fan, but I don't really care. It's a good fan. Doesn't really match. When the side panel's on, you can't really tell though. And then got my old Cooler Master half 912 sitting right there. Got rid of that. Well, I haven't gotten rid of it, but I will be, because I don't really care anymore. Oh, actually, night shot. Well, it's not nighttime, I have my blinds closed. There you go. So looking into the mesh part of it, it's kind of nice. Almost looks like alien-like. Like this giant like blue like fin array when you look into the middle of the PC. So that's pretty cool. Can't see that well past the fan unless it's spinning. And of course this thing lights up the entire wall. Unless I have the side panel on. If I have the side panel on, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I love this case. The top part of it has like a rubberized finish on it, so it's really smooth and it's durable. That handle right there is awesome. This thing actually weighs probably around 65 or 70 pounds, which is crazy. The case itself is about 40 pounds, so adding in a power supply, a giant heatsink for a graphics card, CPU heatsink, a lot of fans, hard drives. This thing's a brick, but you have this handle right here, which is welded onto it, I believe, and then it has rivets holding it to the frame. And then you have a handle back there underneath the top panel. So it's heavy, but it's manageable. So that's my build. It's coming out to be around $1,700 right now, with all the parts that I've put into it and all the cases and whatnot that I've gone through. So it's definitely not a cheap build.